Well, hello everyone. It's Deb Naylor from the Flying Stamper, and I am here today to go over the April 2022 Paper Pumpkin Kit, Change is Beautiful. So if you got the kit, you've probably received it by now. If you haven't, you should probably get it in the next few days. I got mine I think about 3 days ago. And so I kind of wanted to go over the kit with you. It's very straightforward, simple kit this month. And I have some great alternates for you. So this is what the flyer looks like. And the kit, if you didn't get one, makes 3 of each card, 9 cards total. So let's take a look at how the cards were designed, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the tips I have for you to create them. So here's one of them, and this one is really quite easy to complete. Just the only little tricky part maybe would be lining that up inside the cloud there. I love the envelopes this month. And I like the card bases too, but I actually like what I did with it a little bit better than actually how the kit was designed, which that doesn't happen often. So this one is a Z-fold, and if you've taken my classes before, you have attended where I've taught these. The one thing you want to be really careful with, and you can kind of see I went out of the line, is to keep this greeting or this sentiment over to the closer to the edge of the card or where the fold is, because you can kind of see that there. So I'm going to have to put something there. And then you write your note on the back. So there's not a lot of room in here to write, but they created this nice little, almost looks like a journaling block for you. Love the watercolory look of this envelope. Okay, and then the last one, another Z-fold. Just a gorgeous design on this one. And then again, you do your writing on the back, and this almost like a journaling kind of block. So one tip I have on this one is to leave these in the negative and do the stamping. Again, it's a small area, and if you leave it in there, it's not moving around, and it's easier to get a straight alignment on your sentiment. Okay, so those are the cards designed as is. Now, my normal tips every month are pretty much the same, but I do have new subscribers each month, so I like to go over them. So when your ink spot comes, I suggest you take some scissors. I like to use the paper snips and just cut along here, and then that leaves this intact, so it holds the lid on, and so you don't end up losing your lid. I tend to be very messy stamper, and things get misplaced easier, so that's why this works for me. These guys like to live upside down, and then the ink's up at the top when you're ready to use it. Keep them away from sunlight and heat, and they don't like to be cold, so they kind of like to live just like we do. You'll need a block, and you, with your first kit, you get a clear block. It's a size D, so hang on to that because they only send that to you once. And then I like to use this paper piercing mat. It just gives it a little extra cushion, and you get a little better images. So if you have any kind of a mat to kind of give a little extra cushion, these are in the annual catalog, and they're only $5, so it's a good purchase. I also like to use the Take-A-Pick tool. And so those are the things that I suggest, but they're not required. You don't actually have to have them. They just make your crafting experience a little more easier and enjoyable. And then, of course, we have our sentiments and our images from the kit. And I really like the sentiments this month. They're different. That's one of my favorite things about the Paper Pumpkin kits is all the sentiments that I get and how useful those are for all kinds of crafting projects. Okay, so I'm going to set that stuff aside, and I'm going to start talking to you about the alternates. So we have the one kit, or the one card that has a Z-fold in it, and it goes like this. And I absolutely love this design. I think it's beautiful. So what I did with that was I cut it off at the just shy of the fold, and then I mounted it on some Coastal Cabana cardstock. And you could put it on white, or you could put it on Melon Mambo or Daffodil Delight. Actually, there's lots of colors that would coordinate with it, but I used the Coastal Cabana. And so this came directly from the kit too. And so then when you do that, you have this left over, right? You have this piece right here left over. So let me show you what I did with that. So I took it and I chopped it off there. So I had that piece left. And then I just used that to make a cute little card. So this is a little mini slimline card. And then I added a piece of basic white cardstock inside to stamp the sentiment on. And that's on the back, and I think that's cute on the back. So that's how I used up that one of those card bases. And let me show you another one because I played with it a little bit more. And so I had, again, I chopped this off just shy of a fold. This is on basic white. So now I have these two pieces left. And they look like this on the back side. So I turned it over and I made a little pocket for a gift card. This is perfect. So along the edges of these are dimensionals, and they do have to be right on the edge because it's just the right size for the gift card. If you put them in too far, your gift card won't slide in. So you could also put cash in here or a check or, you know, a gift certificate or something, but that was how I used that panel up. All right, then I still had this left over. And so what I did with that is, I got a lot of mileage out of this kit. So I had this panel left, so I mounted it on this card. I cut in half too. And so then I had this, so I put that on basic white, and then I layered that panel off there, and then I still had a label left. And then you have some little stars, and these little stars actually punch out from this. So I saved those. And so that is what I did with that leftover panel. Now, I will post all of these on my Paper Pumpkin private group for my Paper Pumpkin subscribers. So don't worry about, you know, missing these ideas. They'll be available if you're one of my subscribers. So let's go back to this card. This is what it looks like. And this is what the inside looks like. So I wasn't wild about this one, and so that's why I really wanted to have some fun with it. So I did do the one card that I just showed you like this. And then here are a couple more that I did. So this one I just turned the card base this way, and then I added some silver ribbon, and I punched, or I stamped the little butterfly from the stamp set. I like this butterfly. And I used my blending brush to color it Melon Mambo. And then this is just from the Layering Circles dies, a Melon Mambo circle and on a basic white. And then this little caterpillar was from the punch outs from the kit. So I kind of like these kits because I think the sentiments, this could actually be a birthday card, or it could be an encouragement card, or a congratulations card. Okay, so here's another one that I did with that card base. And I'm going to show you how I did this. So this is the card base is taken off, you know, the half. And then I've got a piece of basic white cardstock here and another layering circle punch and a little bit of ribbon and those leftover stars. But let me show you how I made this butterfly here. So you have this negative, right? And I cut around it, and then I've got this taped on a piece of scrap paper. So that this is now a stencil, and it's going to go on this cutout card base. So let me show you how I did that stenciling. So I used my blending brush, and I used the Melon Mambo spot, and I used Daffodil Delight. I'm going to put this under this so I don't get any ink on it. I'm trying to actually keep this one clean so it looks better in the video, the one I've been using. I bought a new one just for videos. Okay, so on the blending brush, you just tap into your pad like I'm doing. And I like to always start light and then go to dark. And then it's good to tap off on some scrap because you can always add more to your project, but you can't take it off. So I don't like it to go on too heavy. I'll pull it around and make it heavier where I want it. And I pretty much just filled this whole thing with the Daffodil Delight. And then I added in the Melon Mambo. I love these blending brushes. They're like my most favorite tool. Now I am trying to stay inside the stencil area as best as I can, but I'm not too worried if a little bit of ink goes on the outside. It's fine. I only have 3 of these blending brushes. I know a lot of people buy one for every ink pad, but I have limited storage in my studio, so I'm trying to really maximize what I have available, and I don't feel like I need one for every color because they wash up really well. Okay, now I'm just going to make sure the yellow's off, and I'm going to take the Melon Mambo and go fill this in a little bit. And I do have a full-size Melon Mambo pad, but I wanted to show you that the spot works fine. We don't all have every single pad, and you don't need to if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. And I'm just tapping in a little color. I'm not going to actually put this all over because I'm going to overstamp it with the Melon Mambo in the middle with the little butterfly. So I don't want it to cover all of that yellow, especially the center part, because I want that Melon Mambo sentiment to pop, or the butterfly to pop. Okay, so now I've got the butterfly on my block already. Oops. A little thread there. All right, and let's put this in the center. Okay, now I'm going to pull that tape off, which is on the back side of the paper, so it doesn't show when I tear it off. If you have removable tape, that works really well. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to probably cut this out because I did get a little yellow over here. So after I go off video, I'll cut that out and mount it. But the way that this goes together is this was going to go across here, and then I had a little sentiment here. So I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'll probably do another Melon Mambo layer behind it, and maybe add in a little embellishment, maybe some ribbon. So it'll look similar to this, but different. But I just covered up that where the moon's part of the punch out is there. So I just wanted to show you some different ways to do that particular layer. Okay, let's see here. What else do we have? Okay, so this card I also cut up and did some things with. So again, I cut it just inside the folds, and then I used the back side, the journaling block side, and I just put a sentiment in there, and I put the butterfly on there. And this is just a piece of Melon Mambo cardstock. And then here's another one. Again, this is this piece here. And these were still left over because I hadn't used them for anything else. And then you have 2 of these left, right? Like we did when we cut the other one. So I made little gift holders for those. So I just glued this down, and I've got dimensionals down here, and there's a little Ghirardelli chocolate. And then these are all just leftovers from the kit. Well, this is a leftover. This is a butterfly. I fussy cut it, and then just a layering circle punch with a sentiment on it. And I'll just use this when we go out and put the tip inside there and leave it on the table for my server. All right, and then here's another one because I had 2 left over. And so I used a different sentiment, and I thought this Ghirardelli chocolate matched the Melon Mambo really well. And I've got the caterpillar on there. So those are my ideas and tips for this month, Paper Pumpkin. Let's talk a little bit about next month. If you were a subscriber, then you got this little flyer in your box. And next month is going to be pretty exciting. So it's called Celebrating in Color. And it's going to feature the 5 new in colors for 2022 to 2024, so that's pretty cool. Get to see those early. And then there is going to be a chance for winning a golden voucher. I believe they're giving out 200 of these randomly, so they'll be inside the boxes, and the golden voucher is worth $25. So it's your chance to get some new products and save yourself a little bit of money. So that's pretty cool. The two things there. I think the in color thing is something I'm really interested in seeing what they do with that. So that kit too, it's a card kit, and it's going to make 10 cards, and it's also going to have some optional gift card holders, so that's cool. So you're actually going to get 10 cards and 10 gift cards. It is going to feature the in colors for the envelopes. There's going to be in color embellishments and foil die cuts. The colors are, of course, the new in colors: Orchid Oasis, Parakeet Party, Starry Sky, Sweet Sorbet, and Tahitian Tide. And the spot is going to be a basic gray spot. So if you are not currently subscribed, I would encourage you to do that sooner rather than later. These kits are always while supplies last, and I have a feeling this one, with the fact that it's splashing the in colors, will be one that will probably be very popular and could sell out. I don't know for sure, but sign up if you aren't subscribed, subscribe earlier rather than later. And then again, last date to subscribe is May 10th. If you don't have a current demonstrator and you need any help with that, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help you and get you added to my group of Paper Pumpkin subscribers. So speaking of that, if you were a Paper Pumpkin subscriber of mine this month, then very soon, if not already, you should be receiving the annual Stampin' Up! Catalog that starts on May 3rd. And then you also will be receiving an in-color bookmark, so you can see those colors live. And then I've got a little letter that I sent you as well. So those, some of you are attending class next week. You may pick this up there, but many of you, they were mailed out, or you've dropped by and picked them up, or I dropped them off at your house. So some of you already have the catalog. Just a reminder that this catalog, the annual May 2021 to April 2022, ends on May 2nd, and many of the items in here are while supplies last. Some of the stamp sets and accessories are already sold out, so it's a good idea if you are wanting anything from here to order sooner rather than later. And then last date to order from the current mini catalog is June 30th. And we don't have a official retirement list for this yet, but we will soon, and I'll release that when I have it. Okay, I think that's it on my list of things to do this month. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you're one of my subscribers, I genuinely appreciate you. If you have any questions or need help with anything, please feel free to reach out. You can find me on flyingstamper.blogspot.com or debnaylor.stampinup.net. Have a great day and enjoy your kit. Take care. See you next month.